Great. So hi everyone. This is a special subscriber interview with an amazing lady who runs, Janene Murdoch, who runs the Educated Investor Bookshop, has been doing so for 25 years. So Janene and I have been chatting for a while, and we both love what I do, what she does. So we thought we'd get together and have a bit of a chat. And what better way to start the conversation, Janene, than telling us maybe your five favorite investment books at the moment. If you'd like to tell us what your thoughts are, that'd be great. Welcome, by the way.
Thanks so much, Simon. I appreciate the opportunity. These are five of my all-time favourite books.
Right.
Our bestseller every year for the past 25 years has been Top Stocks. Top Stocks is now in its 31st year of publication, which is quite a record for an Australian book.
Yes.
It's a great source of reference. So Martin has a set criteria, fundamental analysis criteria, that he uses to filter the market to find quality stocks. Only those companies that meet that criteria actually make it into the book. So the book will fluctuate as to how many companies are in there each year. He also includes a little chart there, so that if you're a bit of a technical analyst as well, you can sort of use your fundamental filter as well as a technical filter to to decide if you'd like to invest in the company. So brilliant. That's our absolute bestseller. And then I've got a quirky little one again. It's by an Australian author, Rod North, and it's called Understanding the Investment Clock. And it's a tiny little book. Not expensive, but it's packed full of information, looking at historical events and how the market reacts to financial and global experiences such as recessions and what have you. And it gives you some guidance on how you find out where we actually sit in that investment cycle. So it might be a time for a bull market or a bear market, and it just helps you to understand that. And it's a great little book. Again, I've gone for something really simple for people, perhaps younger people or people thinking about entering the share market, and it's called Shareplicity by Danielle Ukuri. And she has written a great little simple book on all the aspects of, if you're considering entering the market, a bit of fundamental analysis, a bit of technical analysis, a bit of risk management, money management, all those basic little things that you need to understand if you're going to put your well-earned money into the share market. And it's a great introductory for any age group.
Brilliant. Sounds good.
An absolute favourite of mine is by Colin Nicholson. He has written a number of books, but this one is called Building Wealth in the Stock Market. Now, Colin is a fundamentalist, and he loves to look at all of his fundamental analysis and his ratios and what have you. And he's got that filter in the book. So it will help you filter out companies that are potentially good value. Also, perhaps a bit more on the blue chip or, that quality stock. But he also believes in technical analysis. So once you've done your fundamental filter, you can actually, if you see some potential companies that you're interested in, you can actually put them onto charts. And he has his technical analysis filter there as well.
So best of both worlds in a way, isn't it? Combining the two approaches.
Yes, it is. And you can do vice versa. If you're a technical analyst and you'd like to do your filter to bring up company stocks that way, you can then throw them onto the fundamental filter. Yep. So it works both ways. Colin is also very heavily into the psychology of the market. Let's face it, we're all driven by fear and greed.
So true. So true.
And you get to know each other, or get to know yourself quite well once you enter the stock market and you understand whether you're risk adverse or you're a bit more of a gung-ho type investor. So that I highly recommend Colin's book.
Okay, great.
And we touched on it, it gets touched on in all of the books that I've already mentioned, but psychology is incredibly important if you're thinking of entering the market.
Mhm.
As I say, you will get to know yourself quite well. You will understand if you if you
Never
have
my
that
words.
fear or that greed.
So true.
So another Australian book by Evan Lucas is Mind Over Money.
Okay.
And I think if you're seriously looking at going into the market, you need to really understand yourself, work out what your risk is, how you feel
So,
about risk.
mm,
Yes, your talent for risk, taste for risk.
mhm.
And I think it's a basic book. It's not going to overwhelm you with too many technical terms and what have you. Actually, it hits home quite a lot, the language that he uses. So I think that's a really important aspect of the market. Though each of those books, they have similarities, but they also deal in different aspects and they have different levels of understanding as well. So my years in the bookshop have taught me that there's no right or wrong way to trade or
Yep.
invest in the share market.
Yeah.
It's all about you.
Yeah, I think well put, Janine. And it sounds like there's a great toolkit there for people getting started or wanting to upskill, maybe think differently about stuff, particularly maybe if they're struggling with their strategies. And that's a good complement to what we're trying to do with the investment newsletter group or tinglive.com, where we've covered 9 of those major newsletter services in Australia. And just like the themes that you're talking about, there's so many different styles and personalities. And so hopefully using your books and your bookshop and the resources on our website as well, our subscribers and investors can sort of nail down what works for them because, as you say, so much of it's psychology. So it's 2 steps really, isn't it? One is finding the right investment approach, and 2 is being able to stick with it through the tougher times and not bail out because usually that's the worst time possible, for the market.
Exactly. Yes.
So yeah,
It's
great.
it's nice to have a newsletter such as your own. It's like holding someone's hand a little bit because it is the unknown, and
Mm,
it can be quite daunting and quite
so
very
true.
challenging. And as you say, your emotions are heightened, particularly when your money's involved. And it's quite reassuring to have something to reassure you and let you know that perhaps you're heading in the right direction, or
Yep.
perhaps you not might have to change that direction a little bit.
Yeah, so true. And speaking of heading in the right direction, Janine, how can people find you? What's the best way to find your books, get in touch with you, resources? Tell us about that.
Yes, look, I do have a website. It's theeducatedinvestor.com.au.
Okay.
Since I did have a physical bookshop for 15 years or more, I still have my customers call me and
Wow.
ask me for advice, which
Yep.
I'm very, very happy to do.
Yep.
Um, Often we can, if they've got a particular thought or a problem, we can sort of guide them in the right direction. But our books are all listed on there. They have a good description. But if any of your newsletter members had any questions, I'd be more than happy to either email. You can contact me, Janine, at educatedinvestor.com.au, or
Okay.
my mobile number is actually on the website.
Yep.
So
I can see that
I'd
on the
be,
contact tab there.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
fantastic. Open door policy.
yeah. So,
Be
well,
careful
it's
what you
been
wish for, Janine.
well, it's been a long time, and you do create relationships, and I think it's a clear indication that people have been successful in the market.
Yeah.
25 years is a long time to be in contact with people or someone who just specializes in investment books. So that tells me quite clearly that they've had a great deal of success in what they've been doing. I will say this, they invested in their future.
Yep.
They got support from newsletters, and
Yep.
they went to meetings. The ASX used to have meetings and what have you. So immerse yourself in it. Don't
Yep.
think that it's easy to do, because it's not. It just takes a little bit of work. But if you stop and think about it, you've worked hard for your money. You don't want to
Mm.
just give it away.
That's right. And you sometimes read people spend more time planning their holiday to Bali or Fiji than they do on their investment strategy. And it just, for,
That's
for
exactly.
practitioners like us, it just sends shivers down your spine, doesn't it? But You know, as you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So we've got all these amazing resources out there for your subscribers and our subscribers.
Yes.
It's a great service that you do. Thanks again. So yeah, for our viewers, educatedinvestor.com.au, and obviously our website, Ting Live, TING, which is the investment newsletter group, tinglive.com.au. It can be a lonely existence out there, so use all the resources you can. And Janene's very kindly offered to, direct contact if you have any questions for her. So thanks for your time today, Janene. Awesome.
Thanks so much, Simon.
Great.
Appreciate it. Bye.